Hey you guys, I haven't even started. Let's just look at these coincidences right here. I'm using the Ghost Tarot. I was going to start a reading. Look what's crowning Washington, D.C., the Fool. The Fool. As I start shuffling. I wanted to say, well, hello, how are you guys? So I am just, doing my Taroscope from the third quarter moon, which is very difficult for Donald. And I just happened to see there's a problem again with Russians falling out of windows, out of skyscrapers again in Sochi. That was reported today. This is that guy's Taroscope. Now, there hasn't been any confirmation, but apparently this guy, this is in Sochi, near the skyscraper, the body of the deputy head of the FSB of Russia, FSB is their intelligence, head of the Department M, was found. This was his Taroscope. I just find this incredibly interesting. So, on the ascending, the thing that was giving him life in Washington, D.C., before he accidentally fell off maybe another Russian skyscraper near Sochi, the Hermit is investigations, and he had the Queen of Wands, Speaker Pelosi. Interesting. First house of self. Well. Ace of Pentacles. Where have you guys been seeing this Ace of Pentacles this week? It all started with Governor Whitmer getting cut off in her live stream on, I think, Tuesday, the day before those protests in Michigan. I traced that back to why did that happen? It happened because of the heist by the Russian telecommunications, Rostelecom. And I talk about in the two videos that have the word heist in them. I can't remember off the top of my head. That was traced back to April 6th because of an article that I found that during that week, while everyone was freaking out because the economy was tanking, blah, 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 they had successfully, Rostelecom, hijacked all of the major streaming networks like Amazon, Google, Apple, internet service providers like GoDaddy, Ocean, and others. They rerouted all of the traffic through Russia momentarily. And my hypothesis is that that was a test run to see what they could do, and then they actually activated that during Governor Whitmer's live broadcast, because as soon as she called out the DeVos family for being the money behind what was going on, within seconds the audio was dropped, the video got pixelated, and they completely lost the signal. Well, this is the card of that success, of them being able to hijack our cables. This guy that fell off a Russian skyscraper, this is his card of the reading. The Taroscope over Washington, D.C. is the Empress. Interesting connection. We're supposed to look to the 10th house here. The astrology says look to the 10th house. What's in the 10th house? The World. Remember I told you right when I started I started shuffling. The card on the bottom of the Ghost deck was the Fool. And here he has the Ace of Cups. This is the op that is committed by Russia, the info op. This is the Lavrov card when he came to D.C. and the House took the vote on the impeachment. He has this crowning him in Washington, D.C. Rostelecom and Russia, they're up. The Fool, someone is getting indicted for that. We look at the 10th house. It says, the astrology says, now look at the third house of messages. So we go down here, the third house. We have the 5 of Swords. That's a mafia. The Knight of Pentacles. Hello, Elaine Chow. Russia, China. That's third house of communications. The other thing, okay. And then we have the second house also says look to the third house because of the North Node, which has to do with life's debts, what you owed, the things you're letting go of and what you're owed. He had the Three of Wands. He was expecting in this area of income gains, resources, that he would have this plan come through. But there's a spy, a Page of Swords. So in his House of Secrets, he has the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands are all the people overseas beyond obstruction that, disregard for rules, like with Putin and MBS. It's all of those smaller countries that have received all that U.S. aid money that coincidentally seem to be the ones who are doing the hacking of not only our elections and being the propaganda troll farms. They also seem to be the ones who are doing the big heists, the big hackings behind companies that we've been seeing as of late. And they mess everything up. These are the rules, the disregard for rules. So this is his secret, that whole operation. His hidden enemy, the Fool, being indicted. Look at his connection up here, Fool. And that was on the bottom of this deck when I opened it up. This definitely has a connection to what, for him falling out of a skyscraper, to me, seems like he definitely has a connection to what's going on in Washington, D.C. this week. The tarot said, look at the Four of Swords, which is death. Hello. The Four of Wands, the White House. So I am thinking he knows about this because the astrology says, hey, look to the fourth house roots, the defense of the United States of America. Five of Swords, the Mafia. And this Mafia card that he drew is tied to the Ace of Pentacles and the heist. This guy seems to me totally related to the cable heists by Rostelecom and switching off our networks. Hopes, wishes, friendships, alliances, the science. The tarot says look to death. This is like ending things. It could be the cerveza virus or literally death because of the burdens that this guy is carrying. The Nine of Wands are Donald Trump's election burdens. And the astrology says look to the 12th house of escape. So this guy that fell off the roof, he had a lot of burdens. He wanted to escape, but he met his death because of what he knows about this. What's crowning Washington, D.C., the Ace of Cups? Russia this week. In the 9th house, Putin's house, far away, he had the Seven of Pentacles. This is money. This is like money and digital data transfers that are converted to Bitcoin. Astrology says, look to Sagittarius, I see. Sagittarius is this sign. I always get this card, Sagittarius, I see, for an op that's originating in Russia, and it's down here with communications and incomes. Oh, I see. The tarot says the Two of Pentacles, an agreement, the balance of data, the transfer of data, reversed, went sour, went bad. And it seems to me someone fell to their death as such. This guy who fell off the skyscraper shared resources. The Knight of Wands, the person that pushed him, or the FBI. And the astrology, or the tarot says, look to the sun, the revelation about the President of the United States. We have Venus there, income gains. Today, the Supreme Court announced its dates in May that they're going to hear the cases against Donald. Venus right here with the sun and the president, it has to do with his money, his shared money, his tax returns. The FBI, this was the shared person, the shared resources with the guy that fell off the roof, head of the FSB Department M. The 7th house, this area, this sector that has to do with partnerships, we the people. The tarot said, look to the government. The sun and Uranus are here. Look to theft, stealing elections. The astrology says, look to Scorpio, things that are transformed. The Empress transforms things, as does the Spy. The Page of Swords right here. It straddles both houses. So he was a part of stealing from the government, transforming those things probably to Bitcoin, and he got caught. 6th house. His card he drew for public servants, the Knight of Cups. An offer was made to him or his department from someone, and he lost because the astrology says look to the lunar eclipse, the last full moon eclipse or last summer's full moon eclipse. Pluto has been sitting on that full moon eclipse for months. The planet Pluto, which today is exactly now Pluto moved off the can opener point today, 24 degrees of Cancer Capricorn. It moved 1 degree to 25 degrees Capricorn. Now it's off that eclipse point, but now it is exactly opposite Donald's Saturn. Limitations. His limitations he has is resulting in destructive death. Pluto rules life and death. It's only going to stay in 25 degrees Capricorn for a couple days, and it's going to roll backwards, back onto the 24 degree point of that can opener eclipse. And this backwards tracking of this planet, things are going to get interesting because now we revisit all of the things that it's been destroying the last couple of months, and now we have a new perspective and it's going backwards. It's backing up because they've tried to hide so many things from us. And when it backs up, it's like, oh no, it's over here, it's over here. It has everybody's attention. The guy that fell off the roof, the 5th house of the sun, the Queen of Cups, he's one of the very few who has the Queen of Cups here representing the United States of America. It's like who's running our government right now? Well, this guy, I don't know if he had agreement with Speaker Pelosi. Maybe they're looking for something. They're looking for something. Oh my gosh. Ding, ding, ding. Hello. Scott Allen did a reading about Hillary Clinton that took a different turn. This is it. This is it. I think this is it. Scott Allen, look into this. Oh my God, mind blown. Because the tarot here said the 5 of Pentacles. Look to the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles represents voter suppression through election hacking. I think this guy that fell off the roof through FSB, maybe he was working with counterparts in the United States with the cases that are coming up, and they found out who he was and they had to knock him off because he knows too much. I'm not going to channel this dude. I told him I'll just do your Taroscope and that's it. But very interesting. Okay. Have a great day, you guys. We'll talk later.